Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's get into the new week as we will kick off the Monday, August 11th. The MLB Best Bets will run the board. Smaller slate. We do have the 11-game schedule that will be going on Monday. I'll talk to you guys about my best bets and get you guys on your way and into the new week. Full recap kind of from this weekend. It was not the best day for me. Kind of took it off the chin a little bit. If you want to couple in, I backed Scotty Scheffler on Sunday down the stretch as he was a stroke back. And also then I did double dip a little bit on JJ Spawn with a bet I had before that ticket, before that tournament started. And the UFC on Saturday was absolutely abysmal as well with some of the combos that I did do within that card. So sometimes you'll have that, and we're looking to bounce back this week. So we're not going to pump sunshine on a cloudy day. I'm not going to get my pom-poms out and tell you guys that it was a good week, but for my standards, and you know, after kind of just profitable week after profitable week, it just kind of, sometimes you're due for a little bit of a setback, but the units are still up on the year. So we'll keep it grinding out the rest of this MLB season. And let's get into the board, talk about the best bets that we will have going down on Monday. All right. For those of you that are new here, my name is Mark. We talk sports betting each and every single day on the channel. Pretty much all major sports we do handicap. Some of the exceptions out there we do kind of stay away from, kind of stick to the bread and butters. But when we talk baseball, that's where you're going to find a video here each and every single day. All right, but we will use Outlier to break this all down. If you guys are not using Outlier, do not be at a disadvantage. A very cheap premium membership. Okay, for the cheaper, lower tier membership that you can subscribe to within Outlier, it pays for itself each and every single day, in my personal opinion. Just, you know, you have to kind of use it to understand, but do not overpay for bets. There's a lot of other cool features, but for me, it just is something where even live betting, you don't want to be paying minus 135 when you get minus 130s. And if you're betting a substantial amount of units and the unit sizes are high up there, it just definitely pays for itself. Even just in one bet, you kind of make your month subscription back. Okay, so check out Outlier, 7-day free trial down below. First game on the docket we are going to talk about, okay? We'll go up the board, talk about the Phillies and the Reds. Now, this will be a game where I do have an official play in. We'll talk about what the Phillies are going to be bringing to the table after they've won 3 straight. Now, the Reds come into this game after 2 straight wins, and I like the pitching matchup for the Reds. And that's kind of why we're going to back them minus 120 on the money line. Okay, Taijuan Walker is one of those pitchers for the Phillies that I do like to stay away from. 4-5 on the year, 3.5 ERA, and the Phillies are kind of catching their stride a little bit right when they need to. 7 of their last 10 games, they did a result with a win. Also very profitable to the run line. The Phillies have been as well. But for me, guys, this is simply a play on Andrew Abbott. 8-2 on the year, 2.34 ERA, simply phenomenal for his young campaign. And yeah, so give me the southpaw here at the Great American Launchpad as we do look for potential for a little bit of scoring, hopefully in the direction of the Reds. Would love for them to cash a nice little short home favorite price at minus 120. BetMGM is that best number available, okay? And that's where we're getting to the next game. Yankees and Twins. No play for me. Zebby Matthews going against Will Warren. I like the Yankees in this spot, okay? They have been kind of reeling, if you will. They've won 3 of their last 10 games, and kind of a little back and forth with what we've seen within the Yankees. You know, they play good one day, and it's frustrating. I've seen Boone showing some of his frustration on the field, and yesterday as they took on the Astros, and kind of just got, you know, a real demoralizing win. I think that's the best way to put it. But that being said, I do like the Yankees. It's a lean, no official play, but at that price of minus 175, not enough for me to get involved. But if I had to bet this game, it would be taking the Yankees somehow to get the job done at home. Nationals and Royals, that will be the next game we'll talk about. Is a minus 148 number there for the home Royals. Bailey Falter going against Cade Cavalli. And as we talk about kind of what we have going on, it's a spot where the Nationals, all right, albeit they are 47-70 on the season, they've won 2 straight, 3 of their last 5, and one player in specific has been kind of on a little bit of a stretch here, and that's James Wood, okay? So I am going to back James Wood. We'll take a look at his props here, and as you see here, this is the total bases over 1.5. 3 straight games, he has cashed this. This is one where if he hits a home run, which he is on a little bit of a tangent there, I think he has delivered where you could find, you know, if you want to take some crazy numbers here, the over 4.5 at plus 650 does kind of catch my eye. I think that there is a probability, more so than any other normal day, that the lefty there for the Nats ends up sailing one over the yard for the Nationals. Okay, like James Wood, and I think a great way to play it outside of that hits, runs, RBIs prop over 1.5, which is at -135. Is taking the total bases over 1.5. Okay, we get a +120 price. Love some plus money. I do think this is one where he has some success a little bit in this game, as I do look for him to be able to handle Bailey Falter and what he brings to the table. So give me James Wood on the Nationals. We're going to go over 1.5 total bases. Official play at +120. Back into the main board, we'll talk about kind of what we have going on in the Detroit White Sox game. The Detroit Tigers, okay, they've been kind of like one game on, one game off. Very tough to handicap them, and they do have a little bit of a front-loaded rotation. Today's a prime example, as Paddock is going for them, 4-10 on the year, 4.91 ERA. And the White Sox, for all the offensive prowess that they were displaying, as they have made the case of one of the hotter teams in baseball, it's very easy to overlook the fact that as we look at and talk about it, they have essentially lost 6 of their last 7 before winning yesterday in Cleveland. Okay, so keep that in mind. The White Sox, though, +125, home dogs. Interesting game. I think that we will see some runs. Okay, so the over 8.5 at -120. Definitely favorable. Detroit has cashed 9 or more runs in a game, basically 90% of the time over their last 10, and the Chicago White Sox 7 out of their last 10 respectively. So very strong lean towards the over 8.5 in this contest. Okay. Pittsburgh and Milwaukee won't have a play individually, but Quintana has been impressive going against Andrew Heaney there for the Pirates. For me, guys, we're going to be taking the Milwaukee Brewers. We'll find a dance partner with them, get a little 2-leg parlay, plus money lines out there. We'll talk about that as we get to the late game. As you guys all know, it's on the West Coast, and you know exactly where I'm headed with it, probably. But I like it. Milwaukee's very tough to bet against right now. They've won 9 straight games. Very much impressive run, and seemingly we'll kind of have a little maybe a showdown with this parlay of what we'll look to see for the NL pennant. Okay, so we'll get to that bet a little bit later on, but like I said, guys, it will be the Brewers in a 2-leg money line parlay. Found a dance partner. We'll see what happens, but I like that plus money. Next game, the Colorado Rockies and the St. Louis Cardinals. Okay, Miles Mikolas going against a pitcher for the Rockies that has not been named. -210 for the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals, okay? I think they're going to be strong play at home. They took care of business against the Cubs yesterday. Shouldn't have won that game, but late run, they did scratch across the dish to end that kind of, I guess you'd say that rivalry. That series was a great one, but the Cardinals back on it. They are playing some decent baseball. Rockies have dropped 7 straight games, and they've, for all intents and purposes, they've allowed a lot of runs, okay? And that's something that you do have to quantify on the other side of the handicap. So a Cardinals team total definitely is juicy, albeit they are at home. And also, I think I like that a little bit more so than laying the -210 money line for the Cards at home. So I would look into the avenue of taking the Cardinals team total going over, okay? Diamondbacks and Rangers. Rangers have dropped 4 straight. Nathan Eovaldi, though, will give them a strong chance tonight going against Ryan Nelson and the Diamondbacks, okay? So I do think this is one where you look at that -160. The market's just kind of really high on the Rangers. Makes them a very tough team to handicap because they are very capable of winning any game, but they have a lot of offensive duds that they do lay from time to time. So I typically like to stay away from the Rangers, especially when we do get that above my threshold where I don't really consider money lines at -150 or more. And that's just kind of how I see this game shaking out. So it's going to be a pass for me, albeit you can see the betting splits overwhelmingly amount on the Rangers run line at +140. Keep that in mind. Also, kind of a stronger move towards the under as you do look for a strong start for Eovaldi, and arguably the best pitcher there for the Diamondbacks, Ryan Nelson, 6-3, 3.2 ERA for that righty. Okay, next game, the Red Sox and Astros might be the best game on the docket. We do see Javier going against Garrett Crochet. For me, guys, the Astros have been playing some good baseball. The Red Sox have only won 2 of their last 5. They were on a pretty hot streak before that. But as we look at the Stros here at home, +145 for the Astros at home going against Crochet. kind of intriguing. Okay, I don't like betting against Crochet typically. 2.24 ERA gets it done from the win column as well. 13-4 on the season in decisions, but for that plus 145 price on the Astros at home, if you do like betting a dog, that one is very attractive. Also, maybe Astros first 5 in case they get a little solo shot, 2-run job, and can kind of hold that door off. I think even if you find the Astros plus a half run first 5 innings, that could be very attractive. But I do kind of have a favorability to the Astros in the spot, but not an official play. All right, we will save kind of the last game of the day to talk about where we will have that tie into that money line parlay. But the Padres and Giants, we get Logan Webb in the spot going against Yu Darvish. And Darvish hasn't really kind of had those clunky starts that he had since returning from injury. I think he actually threw well last time out. And Logan Webb, 10-8 on the year. A little regression from him, and the Giants, they have been kind of on a slide as well, and they've dropped 2 straight, only winning 5 of their last 10. And the Padres, I think they're starting to flip that switch, getting ready for the postseason. So if I was going to bet this game, I'm not going to. I do think that there is an avenue where we get a lot of expected runs. I think this is where the Giants will have no problem getting the Darvish. And Logan Webb, conversely, I think that the Padres will be able to plate 4 or 5 in this matchup. So I kind of lean that in direction. The Padres at plus 115. Very juicy, very tempting, but with Yu Darvish, I think I'm going to play safe and stay away from this game, just based on the premise of just you don't really know what you're going to get from that outing for Yu Darvish. Okay, so this will be a pass. The last game on the night, the Rays and the A's. This is where we're going to take Athletics minus 110 on the money line. Jeffrey Springs going against Ryan Pepio. It's going to be a duel. I just think that the A's are playing better baseball right now. Okay. And down the stretch, the Rays have kind of really faltered, okay? They were one of the hotter teams to start off this Major League season, and the Athletics, 53 and 67, they're not that far back from Tampa Bay, okay? Tampa Bay comes in this game 57 and 62. Record-wise, sure, edge goes to Tampa Bay. Recent performance prior, kind of, leading up to this game with trends, just the way that the Athletics are playing and hitting the baseball, very hard not to take the A's at home, where they will obviously score a lot of runs in that ballpark. So give me the A's on the money line, minus 110, too good a value to pass up, okay? And then the last game on the night, we get Yamamoto and Soriano for the Angels going against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are kind of starting to turn it on, okay? This is one where they did lose yesterday, keep that in mind, but the Angels only winning 3 of their last 10. We're starting to see that white flag a little bit potentially. I know it's the Battle of LA, but I think that when the Dodgers, and Yamamoto hasn't been kind of the Yamamoto we're used to from last year. I think this is one where you're getting into that territory with the Dodgers where if you are going to back them, you almost have to take them on the run line or take their team totals or attack them in a prop perspective, okay? But Shohei goes home in this spot. I think it's going to be a very strong outing or performance from him offensively, and I think they're going to rally around the narrative, even though it doesn't really mean anything these days. But for me, guys, this is where we're going to pair it up with the Milwaukee Brewers. So give me the Dodgers money line to go along with the Brew Crew and Quintana, and that's where we're going to take that, resulting in a plus 136 two-team money line parlay, and that's going to be the last official bet for us on the channel. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Sorry for this video getting out a little bit later on in the afternoon, but there are some turnovers getting into Monday. Want to check some weather, check some rotational things, bullpen, who's up, who's down, who's taking the day off. Especially with a shorter slate and that doesn't start off till about 6. We got some time to kind of shop around and get the best of it. So those are my best bets. Appreciate you guys. Let's kick this week off with a boom. The recap, we're going Cincy money line, James Wood over 1.5 total bases at plus 120. The Milwaukee Dodgers 2-leg money line parlay at plus 136, and the A's on the money line minus 110. Those will be my 4 best bets for today's video. And good luck out there. Let's cash some tickets, get right back on it, and we'll talk to you guys all in the next video.